Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're going to demystify something called shell scripting. I know, it sounds a little techy, but stick with me. We're going to show you how just a few lines of code can literally automate the most boring, tedious parts of your day, saving you a ton of time and effort. And this isn't just for developers, it's for anyone who wants to work a little smarter.
All right, let's just jump right in. Think about it for a second. We all have those tasks, right? The ones that are just mind-numbingly boring. The ones that eat up way too much of your time. Maybe it's renaming a bunch of files or checking on system statuses. Basically, anything you find yourself doing over and over and over again.
And this image, it really hits the nail on the head. I mean, sure, creating 10 files one by one, you can do that. It's manageable. But what if it's 100? Or, like this says, 1,000? At some point, doing it by hand stops being just inefficient. It becomes literally impossible. There has to be a better way.
And that better way, it's called automation. All it really is using a bit of code to tell the computer, hey, you do this boring task for me. It's about giving instructions so you can cut down on all that manual work. And let me be clear, this isn't some high-level concept just for software engineers. It's a game changer for anyone who wants their time back and, to stop making those little human errors.
So on any Linux-based system, and trust me, most of the internet runs on them, the #1 tool for this job is the shell script. What is it? Honestly, just think of it as a simple text file. But instead of a grocery list, it's a to-do list for your computer. A set of commands it's going to run, one after the other. So you ready? Let's actually build our very first one right now. Okay, first up, our first building block is the touch command. It's super simple but really powerful. All it does is create a new empty file for you right from your command line. It's kind of like slapping a blank sheet of paper down on your desk, ready to go.
All right, so you've made a file, but how do you know it's really there? Did it work? Well, that's where the ls command comes in. It's short for list, and it does exactly what you'd think. It lists out everything in your current folder, so you can see that brand new file you just made.
And what if you want to take a quick peek inside that file? You don't want to open up a whole text editor just for a glance. That's what cat is for. It just prints the contents of the file right there in your terminal. Perfect for a quick look-see. Okay, let's put it all together and actually create our very first script. We're just going to follow these steps. First, we use touch to create a new file. We'll call it myscript.sh. That .sh is how we know it's a shell script. Next, we open it up using a simple editor like VI. Then we write our code, and finally, we save and get out of there.
Now, this is maybe the most important part. The very first line you write in your script has to be this, /bin/bash. This thing has a funny name. It's called a shebang. But all it is really is a special instruction. It tells your computer, hey, when you run this file, use the bash program to understand the commands inside. Super, super important.
Okay, shebang is in. Now for the actual command. We're going to start with something really simple, the echo command. It echoes whatever you type after it right onto the screen. For our first script, a classic hello automation is absolutely perfect. All right, the moment of truth. Our script is written, it's saved, it is time to see our work pay off. To run a script in your current directory, you type // and then the name of the file. This basically tells the system, hey, run this program that's right here in front of you. So you type that in, you hit enter. You're expecting to see your hello automation message pop up, and instead, you get an error. Don't worry. This is a moment that every single person who learns shell scripting runs into, and it's actually about to teach us something really important about how Linux works.
And there it is, permission denied. What does that even mean? Well, this error shows you a fundamental idea in Linux. Security comes first. See, just because you created a file, that doesn't mean the system will let you run it as a program. By default, new files are not executable. It's a safety feature to stop you from running something by accident. So how do we fix this? How do we tell the system, no, I really do want to run this? We use a command called chmode, which is short for change mode. This command is basically the key that lets you grant or take away permissions for any file on your computer.
Now, chmod can look a little weird at first, but the logic behind it is actually pretty simple. Linux uses numbers for permissions. It's like a code. As you can see, the number 4 means you can read the file. 2 means you can write or edit it. And 1 means you can execute it or run it like a program. Those 3 numbers are our basic building blocks.
Okay, so we have those numbers, 4, 2, and 1.
And these permissions get assigned to 3 different groups. You, the owner of the file, your group, which is like a team, and then pretty much everyone else. To set the permissions, you just add the numbers together. So if you want someone to be able to read, write, and execute a file, what do? You just add them up. 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7. A 7 means you have full access, the whole shebang.
So when we run the command chmod 777 on our script, you can see what's happening. The first 7 gives full permission to the owner, that's you. The second 7 gives full permission to the group, and the third 7 gives full permission to everyone else. It's like giving everyone a master key. Now when we try to run our script again, it's finally going to work. Okay, so printing hello automation is cool, and it proves we can do it. But let's be real, why does this simple little skill matter so much? Why is it absolutely essential if you want a career in something like DevOps? Let's connect the dots from our simple script to the real world.
You have to understand, a DevOps engineer's day is just a constant juggle of tasks that are practically begging to be automated. They're not just writing application code. They're keeping the infrastructure running, they're managing configurations, and they're monitoring the health of maybe thousands of servers all at once.
So to make this super clear, let's invent a guy. Let's meet John. He's a DevOps engineer at a big company, and he is responsible for keeping 10,000 servers up and running. Imagine that. And he's constantly getting messages from developers, hey, this server is slow, or I think we're running out of memory over here.
So what does he do? Well, the manual way is it's not even an option. There is no way John can log into 10,000 different machines one by one to check on them. It's just impossible. But with automation, he can write one single shell script, and that one script can reach out to all 10,000 machines, check their health, and then shoot him an email with the report that only highlights the servers that actually have a problem. See the difference? It's a total game changer.
And that's really the big takeaway here. Shell scripting isn't just another tool in the toolbox. It's the glue. It's the thing that holds everything together. It connects different programs. It automates all the daily checks, and it's what lets one single person manage a huge, complex system all by themselves. If you're going into this field, it is an absolute must-learn skill. So, we've gone from a really simple problem, doing the same thing over and over, to a super powerful, real-world solution. And that brings the final question back to you. I want you to think about your own work, your own daily tasks. What's that one repetitive thing in your life that you could automate with your very first script?